Rise and shine, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D. She puts the D in drama. Her guest will spill the tea. Tune into D is for drama. If gossip's what you need, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D. D! That was too much. Hello, my beautiful D-bags, D's nuts, drama queens. We're working on it. Welcome to season 2 of D is for drama. How about that jingle, you guys? Humongous shout out to my beautiful listener on Instagram. She's Awkward Marina. She is a jingle writer. If you remember, end of last year, I mentioned something about needing a jingle, and she reached out to me. My sister and I had written this little ditty before I put out D is for Drama in 2024. And I mean, it was stuck in our heads forever and ever and ever. But I, been meaning to get around to doing the jingle, and thank God Marina stepped in because she held me accountable. So I had sent her the lyrics and like the kind of beat that I was going for, and she just came up with this like amazing beat that I like, it really wasn't even in my head as this. I love kind of like almost like the mystery part of it. It's almost like Chelsea was saying, it kind of sounds like Carmen Sandiego in a way, which was one of our favorites when we were kids. So it's just so good. And then huge shout out to Horace Gold for letting me borrow his pipes. It just makes it that much more special that it was by a listener and a collaborative process with so many wonderful people in my life. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys like it. I was so excited for you guys to hear it for the first time. A little switch up there. Probably had you fooled, huh? Well, I've got some fun, exciting things for 2026, including maybe some merch. I've got some designs going. I was thinking about maybe doing some baseball caps. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, let me know if you have any design thoughts. I would love to hear them. And I hope you guys all had an amazing New Year's and Christmas, and that 2026 is going well. I'm excited for it. Love you guys so much. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to season 2.
Thank you.
And who do we have here today as the very first guest? My father. Say
Bill.
hello. Oh, Bill Lewis. He's waiting for his name. Are you honored to be the first guest of season 2, Dad?
Oh, of course. It's quite the honor.
Have you seen the new logo?
I don't think I have.
All right, let me show you. Ta-da!
Oh, looks really nice.
What do you think?
Sweet.
The camera taking snapping pics of the
Gotcha.
drama.
There you go.
Very Jersey girl, wouldn't you say?
I would think so.
And of course, I am a Jersey girl.
Oh, yes, you are.
Well,
And I married a Jersey girl.
I heard
I
a
know.
little derogatory tone in that.
I had 3 Jersey girls.
Yep. Well, you only wanted girls, though.
It's true.
Why
It
is that?
True. I don't know. Well, I do know. When I was 13, my mother had a 6th child. I really loved taking care of her and always wanted girls. So there you go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And he got
And
him.
I got him. There I go.
And you got him.
Yep.
But then he was stuck with 3 Jersey girls, and he's not a Jersey boy.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I grew up in upstate New York. I hadn't seen New Jersey. 17 years old.
Wait, how old were you when you moved there?
Yeah, I was
15, I thought.
just shy of 17.
So he did his last 2 years. So he was a Jersey boy
Yeah.
for a couple years there.
Yeah.
Today we are doing a episode on accidents.
Mm.
And my father is going to share an accident that happened to him after he moved out of New Jersey to his next location.
Yeah.
Take it away, father.
This where you want my story?
Yes. So he moved to Colorado with one of his brothers,
Yeah.
and he took up a hobby.
It was called hang gliding. I've been flying for, it's from 1978 to 1981. So I've been flying for 3 years. And my best buddy and I, on a Friday, which was June 5th, 1981, got in my red pickup truck. And we headed out to Salt Lake City, Utah, to a place called Point of the Mountain for our very first hang gliding meet, I should say. And the heat of the day was going to start around 10 o'clock.
It was like a competition for hang gliding?
Totally a competition. Oh, yeah.
And this was your first one ever?
Yep.
Oh, you had never done it?
It was a regional meet. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah.
Well, my dad's a big daredevil,
Oh, well,
along with my sister.
yeah, oh, yeah, that's
Me,
true.
not so much. Actually, you know what I was thinking last night?
What?
Was because I was talking to someone about this recently, because my mom just got back from a scuba diving trip, and then you and Chelsea are both quite adventurous when it comes to like sports and things.
Right.
But I've always said like, oh, I'm much more cautious. Like I'm not a thrill seeker. But I was thinking about it last night. I was like, I actually like performing on stage is quite a thrill,
Yeah.
and that's how I get my adrenaline rushes.
It's a different type of thrill.
It's just a safe thrill. The only risk is
Yeah.
humiliating
Yeah,
yourself.
stubbing your toe when you walk across the stage or something, you know.
But the humiliation might be worse than if you break your back.
That's true. That's true.
Blow to the ego.
Yeah, really.
But I like to keep it safe as far as my physical body.
Well, wait a second. You and I did go out flying that one time. We were doing the parasailing, remember?
Yeah, paragliding.
Paragliding, sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
And-
don't know that I'd ever be able to do it alone, though.
No.
I'd like to be like strapped in with a professional.
Yeah, it was different. The first heat was supposed to start around 10, and they give you a window for which you have to, stand on the launch, and you have like a 10-minute, 15-minute window to take off and fly. If the weather isn't good enough for you to get off the ground, well, you're out. And I'm standing on the launch, and literally the guy says, you got like 30 seconds left here, and it was nothing. There was nothing there. First guy off.
Wait, what does that mean? You have 30 seconds.
I had that window, a 15-minute window to launch. And if the weather doesn't get good enough for you to take off in.
Oh, so you did it down to the last 30
yeah,
seconds.
no, it was, and I swear to God, he starts counting down from 10, and I'm going, oh shit. And all of a sudden this thermal starts coming up. Now, the reason I know a thermal's coming up, because there's indications, like you can look at the grass, you can look at the leaves on the trees, and they just start fluttering like this. And so all of a sudden I look and I see that it's coming up, and I just picked up my glider and I just ran a couple steps and launched right off the hill.
I didn't know this part.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were like forced to go.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the way it is. Yeah,
but you felt like
yeah.
it wasn't safe.
Well, no, it's not that it wouldn't have been safe. I just wouldn't have had a ride. I just would have sunk right down. Now the launch is only about 100 feet from the bottom of the landing zone there, the LZ. But then behind me is a ridge that goes straight up, or a mountain. It's just, it goes up about 1,000 feet. So what you're supposed to do is take off and fly, and then take the catch the ridge and go all the way up to the top of the mountain. That's what the whole point is.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And it depends, because sometimes they'll have cones out that you have to go up and down the ridge and go around the cone and do a figure eight and do those type of different things. So there's all different competitions and different things that you have to do.
Oh, so what was this competition?
Well, this one was just to see how high you get and how long you could stay up, for the most part. It was the first day, and this, you have a whole week of this flying to do anyway. So I'm just sitting on the ground waiting for everybody else, and nobody's doing much during this whole day. And about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the day's over with. But they have what they call a unique thing that happens only once in a while when you're flying. They call it a glass off. The sun will heat the ground. It's and the ground will absorb the heat, just like it does in the desert anywhere that you've been in the world. But then the sun will go behind the mountain, and once it goes behind the mountain, it starts to set a little bit. It shades that ground. So if you ever lived in a house where it had that convection heating, where it's under the floor, and then you can just feel it come up from under the floor. Well, the same thing happens in the valley. So all this heat starts to release from the ground, and it just starts to rise in the whole valley. Well, it made the whole valley extremely soarable. And I mean, every single person there have been 40, 50 of us in the air, we're flying, and we're all at the same altitude. And the sky is full of hang gliders. It must have been a sight to see, because I was already up.
Yeah.
And I was up, and so I stayed behind the ridge. Now, the ridge is about, we'll say 1,100 feet from where we took off. And I'm about 200 feet above that. And everybody else is at the same altitude I am, but they're out over the valley, because you can fly anywhere. It makes no difference. You didn't need the ridge lift to get up in the air, which most of the time you do.
Why? Because
of that convection heat. There was just, the whole valley was just.
And it goes. Okay. So the heat helps you get. Because heat rises.
Well, that's what a thermal is. A thermal, when you catch a thermal, it's a pocket of air that breaks loose from the ground. It just rises. And then most of the time when the air is pushing, say, this direction, it'll push up against the mountain and go straight up the mountain.
Oh, okay.
And then you just circle in that, and you go up to as high as you can get.
Gotcha.
Now, at some point in time, it hits what they call a cloud base, and it forms a cumulus cloud.
Mhm.
That's that little puffy, cute little cloud everybody sees on those nice sunny days.
Yes.
That's what
A
normally
cartoon
happens.
cloud.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Always with the Looney Tune
yeah,
references.
really. Bugs Bunny. Everybody's in the air. Everyone's having a good time. And I mean, so I'm on the top of the ridge, just two of us. This one guy and I are just in this pattern, and we just keep circling this pattern, probably about 100 yards or so, like this, up and down the ridge. We didn't need to fly up and down the ridge necessarily. We could have flown anywhere we want to, but it was so busy out in front of me, I just felt safer there, believe it or not.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't all that safe.
Well.
Well, something happened, and I wish I could say I remember what happened, but I don't. But the two of us got mixed up. We had a midair collision. From what I've been told, because I have no recollection of it, we collided with each other, and my glider collapsed and torpedoed down to the ground, and his fortunately didn't collapse. It held together. He threw his parachute. I also threw my parachute, except for I hit the ground first, and then the parachute opened up.
No.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so you were like conscious as you were falling. You just don't remember because you blacked out, basically. Because you threw your parachute.
Well, I have a vague recollection of the relief I felt by getting the parachute out. But from everything that was described to me of what happened, we were circling. I believe I broke the pattern. In fact, I did break the pattern because I can remember hearing my variometer. A variometer is the thing that lets you know whether you're going up or down, and it'll beep when you start to rise, when you start to go up. So anytime a hang glider pilot hears something beep, he'll turn slowly into that lift, and then he'll just slowly try and circle in it and try to see if he can get above the clouds or above the crowd or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, my variometer started to beep. So as we're doing this same pattern going up and back and forth up the ridge, I'm doing one of these numbers. He doesn't see me doing this. He's just in this pattern going up and down
like in a circle,
and
basically.
I'm doing one of these. Well, from what he described to my friends, because I couldn't tell you what happened, he said that all of a sudden we came face to face with each other, and that I had shoved my glider, to avoid the collision. So my glider's straight up in the air like this, and he pulled his in to try and go underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, your angle of attack is kind of like this when you're hang gliding.
Yeah.
And when I pushed up like this to avoid a collision, it would just pause and just stop me in the middle of the air like this.
Yeah.
And
because you were,
and then I would have fallen like this or fallen like this. It wouldn't have made any difference.
The wind wasn't catching you at all.
Because I would have stalled my glider and it just would have fallen. That would have been fine.
So if you guys don't know what a glider looks like, it's like a triangle shape, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to have wind underneath it. So if you're vertical.
Yeah.
So
it's like even a plane would do the same thing. If you went up there with a plane would just stall and just. You've seen the air shows where the planes go up like this and they just stall and they go down like that. Same identical thing. Except so my glider is doing one of these numbers, and then he thought for some reason that if he pulled in that he would go underneath me, which, in his mind was his best way of reacting. So you have these split moments decisions. You come face to face with somebody. These crazy things happen. So as I'm pushed out like this, he pulls in. Well, here's the angle of attack when he's coming. He sees me. When you pull in, this is what happens. So you pull in, and before you even start to go down, you start to go forward and not down. So even as much as he pulled in, he just moved forward and rammed me, which is why you hitting somebody like this.
Oh, so you were vertical, and then he ran into you.
He rammed me, basically.
So what do you think he should have done? Turned?
Well, if we both just went up like this.
But then you both would have stalled, no?
That's fine, because we both could have just, wouldn't have made any difference.
Oh, because then you could have stalled, fall, and then caught another wind.
Yeah, that doesn't make it. And we had hundreds and hundreds of feet. Didn't make any difference. To fall. And then you would have recovered and kept going.
Him hitting you is the thing that.
That's what happened. Now, I don't blame him. Believe me, I don't. No. I'm the one that broke the pattern. I accept full responsibility. You have to accept responsibility of what you do. I'm not blaming anybody.
Didn't realize that you were the one that broke the pattern.
Yeah,
because I always thought it was 100% his fault.
Oh, no.
And I know it was an accident, so I'm not going to blame him. But I always was under the impression.
There's always fault when it comes to accidents. So,
So it was yours.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! I thought this whole time it was his.
Nope.
Dad.
Nope.
Have
Oh,
you
I
made
never.
me to believe this whole time.
Just probably weren't listening. That's all I can tell you.
Typical.
No, I mean, it's kind of hard to admit
Well, it
that.
kind of like
I mean,
both
come
of
on.
you guys
We're,
did it.
we're
I
young,
guess.
we're cocky kids, you know. I mean, nobody really wants to lay blame. Nobody wants to accept fault. And it took me a while to come to terms with what had happened. Days and days later, I wake up in the University of Utah hospital. It's a teaching hospital, which is where all the new young doctors are being trained. So, I mean, I was meeting all these young girls, women, and men that are becoming doctors.
Yeah.
You know, so they walk in with a group of people, and this guy was an idiot and got in a hang gliding accident.
Like they're on a museum tour.
Oh no, I'm not kidding. It was pretty hysterical. So I mean, I literally wake up. My mother's holding my hand. My father's over on the other side, and I have no idea where I am, what happened. You know, because I'm so confused at this point in time. I don't even remember that I was hang gliding, so I don't know what state I'm in, what country I'm in. I have really totally no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I wake up and I look at my mother, and of course, I'm recognizing her. I say, "Mom, what's going on?" And she goes, "Well, Bill, you were in a hang gliding accident. You're in the University of Utah hospital right now. Do you remember anything that happened?" And I'm like, "Anything that happened?" I'm doing one of those like, "No." And so do you remember where you were? And I said, "Oh." And that's when it dawned on me that I was flying.
Okay.
So the very last thing that I really remember was I was flying.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't remember hitting the guy. I don't remember falling. I don't remember the helicopter ride to the hospital.
Oh,
I don't remember
helicopter ride.
anything. Yeah.
Wait, you don't even remember like the feeling of I'm about to get into an accident?
Nope. I don't. Nothing.
Wow.
Not.
Well,
a
they
thing.
do say that. I mean, you black out trauma like that, or
Well-
even they said like when you're close to death, or even right before death, your body will just like, your soul will like leave your body, so you don't feel the pain.
The one thing that the doctor said to my parents was that it looked to him like somebody took a crowbar and smashed me across the face. Now,
God.
once they told me that, and then I talked to my friend Pete, who, of course, he and I went to the hang gliding tournament together. He came that evening after whatever, because he was just about ready to go back to Colorado. So he stopped by to say goodbye. He didn't know I was awake, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
He comes in, and I'm like, "Yo, Pete, what happened?" So he's the one that had all the
Told
information.
you. Mhm.
So until he explained to me what had happened, then it came to realization that what had happened when, like I said, when he sped up, that he ran my hang glider, his leading edge, or I have to believe, that's what I'm going to believe, hit me across the face.
Oh, the point of the hang glider.
Yeah, well, not necessarily the point, just the leading edge.
We don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Well, it's basically the wing, you know, so the leading edge of the wing,
okay.
which is metal
Mhm.
inside the material. And that if that hit me across the face,
Oh, you don't have a scar though.
oh, I do have a, you can feel it.
A bump?
I have a, no, if you read it this way, maybe. Can you feel the ridge?
Not really.
No? Okay. Well, it's
So-
weird. I can feel because it's right here.
So how many
it's a
days
skull
were
fracture.
you in a coma?
I don't really know. Like a week?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Did he continue in the tournament?
Well, yeah. What was he? Well, he was there for
What's he
that.
gonna do? My friend's in a coma. He's not waking. He's not awake.
Oh, you know something though? Pete wasn't a competitor, so I don't think he was competing.
Oh, he wasn't.
No.
Oh, he was just like doing it for
Yeah,
fun.
he was just there for the
Yeah.
for the flying, because everybody was flying still. Everybody could fly, you know. So
Yeah.
after the day over,
After
everybody
the
was
day.
flying.
Yeah. I would be freaked out. I think. I don't think I'd want to go up if I was him.
Well, I could. In all honesty, I never even asked him if he flew. It never
Really?
even dawned on my mind to even ask him what he had done after I left.
Yeah. You were a little preoccupied, I'd say.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what was your parents' experience though?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, my friends knew that I was from back east, and some of them knew I was from New Jersey. That was the extent of it. They also knew that I worked in computers. They couldn't tell you where. Now, fortunately for me, I had a business card inside my wallet that had everybody's name written on it that were all my hang gliding friends. So, like, I had in tiny writing their name and then their telephone number, because we don't have cell phones in
Yeah.
1981. So everybody's has a punch, you know, the dial up or the punching type or whatever the hell they were called.
The punching type.
The numbers.
Yeah. A landline, you would say.
Yeah, we all had landlines for sure. It's hard to even think back then. It was so long ago.
I wish that's how it was still.
Yeah.
I know those days too.
Anyway, the doctors, believe it or not, just kept calling different Lewises. Now, the name Lewis is so beyond common. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Calling and calling and calling and calling. So finally, they get through to my mother.
From the address book?
It's a hospital. So they had a lot of different online things, not really, not online like we understand online, but different ways of being able to look up phone numbers.
Right.
They probably had 100,000 phone books in there for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, plus they had operators, understand. So operators, which you don't know much about, are were the people at Ma Bell or whatever, which is really the phone company. And you could just dial 0, get hold of an operator and say, I need information on so-and-so, the name of Lewis. You look in the South Jersey area first and blah, 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 blah.
So Nana just gets like a cold call.
Random call, 2:00 in the morning.
Oh my God. 2 in the morning?
Yeah. 2 in the morning. So anyway, she gets a call. She picks the phone, says hello, obviously. The woman on the other line goes, hi, this is so-and-so. And do you have a son named Bill? And does he hang glide? And so my mother says, yes. And she goes, could you hold for the doctor, please? Now, can you imagine you're a mother and you get a phone call that says, can you hold for the doctor, please?
Brutal.
Now, she's doing one of these things. Oh my God. 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 Well, so the doctor gets on the phone and the doctor hears my mother going, oh my God.
Really?
He goes, no. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. You
well,
know?
kind of.
Well, not, but I mean,
at least not dead.
He's just, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your son was in a bad hang gliding accident. He's in critical condition. He survived the operations. And everything's fine. Yada, yada, yada. I don't know what the hell the conversation was. I don't think she knew what the conversation was. I guess me and my father eventually got the phone from him, got the information of where I was, and yada, 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 his name, phone numbers, all that type of stuff. The very next morning, he calls up his office and says, this is my situation. See you later. I'll let you know what's going on. And
yeah.
the two of them fly out to Salt Lake City. They had been there for a week.
Oh, yeah.
And I hadn't been awake.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, so when I woke up and to see them sitting there, I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? My arm's in a sling. And of course, the doctor comes in finally to talk to me. Actually, it wasn't much after I woke up did the doctor come in with all this entourage of students.
The museum tour.
I'm not kidding you. So, yeah, we're taking a tour here today. And so he starts to proceed to tell the students of all my injuries.
So is this how you're finding out?
This is how I'm finding out. So I'm just sitting there and he goes, and he said, well, he was in a hang gliding accident on June 6th and he landed on top of the mountain and blah, 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 blah. Right. And I'm like, what happened? And so my arm's in a sling and he goes, now his arm, we had to operate 5 times on his elbow. I've had 5 operations on my elbow. And I'm like, what the hell did I do to my arm? And so he goes, okay. He goes, Mr. Lewis. And I said, yeah. He goes, can you move your fingers? So I go, yeah. And he goes, oh. And you see, he was such a proud, he goes, good. So I'm like, this is good. He goes, I need to test your feet now. Now understand.
Oh, God.
I broke 2 vertebrae in my back. So he goes, can you wiggle your toes? I go, yeah. He goes, good.
You're like, am I about to find out I'm paralyzed?
Yeah. So he's doing, can you feel this? You go going up and down the bottom of your feet. Yeah. And they go, now he also had a skull fracture. Yeah. And he was in a coma for the last, I said, in a coma?
So at this point, you didn't know anything? They didn't tell you anything?
Well, at this point, like I said, I just woke up. I was probably in and out. Who knows? So confused and I don't remember anything.
I know. I was thinking that probably by the time that you actually woke up and you remember talking to Nana, you had probably woken up 5 times before that.
Probably that day. Yeah. Probably up and down all day. But it wasn't until, just before the
registered.
doctor came in and started to talk to me or started to talk about me more or less, not even so much
in front of you.
And I'm like, okay, and it was just the craziest time. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? So now I'm really kind of mad.
Oh.
because I was obsessed with hang gliding to the point of where all my waking moments I've thought about flying, because I only flew on the weekends. So I worked Monday through Friday, like most of us did. But when the weekends came around, man, I wanted to fly.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
Well, of course, I was out there to fly for a week, not get into a hang gliding accident and be in freaking bed for a week without
Yeah.
even knowing anything about it.
Also,
So
how much was that hospital bill?
I had insurance.
Oh, they
Yeah.
covered it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some
Everything.
different times.
Well, it was actually, it's funny because it was early 80s. It was 10 years after Richard Nixon decided to create, and I mean literally create, this middleman they called our insurance companies or whatever, the medical insurance industry. And by 1980, it just started to be full-fledged that was going on. And my company had an HMO, which I belonged to, obviously, and that's what covered my bills.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
And those type of things got 100% covered. Other things were
Amazing.
different. But, yeah, well, I mean, at that point in time, I don't think the insurance companies knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So,
Giving away money for free.
yeah.
Not
but, I mean,
anymore.
yeah, fortunately, I never paid one single dime. Didn't pay a dime.
Hell yeah.
No, thank God.
Well,
Yeah.
and now his elbow is still permanently. You want to show it to them if you guys
That's
can
it.
see. What would you say? A little bit more
Well,
than
I
45
have-
degree angle. He can't go straight.
That's it.
About
I have
45 degrees.
Less than 50% use of my arm. This. Like
Wait, how
this.
much?
50%.
Oh,
That's
less
all I
than
got.
50%.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, think it. The normal arm goes all the way out. Right?
Yeah.
Bends this much. Mine does not do that.
And then you also lost a couple inches in height, right?
Yeah, which is kind of funny. I was just shy of 5'8". I mean, just barely shy of 5'8", and I was down to 5'6" at this point. Yeah.
So you've been
Yeah.
5'6" and 7.
Yeah,
So
it's
for those
almost
of
2
you out
inches.
there that I have always heard about my father being much shorter than me, and really, in reality, you would have only been maybe 2 inches shorter than me,
Yeah, possibly.
or maybe 3.
No, it was bad. Well, of course, at this age, I'm sure it would have shrunk anyways.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have made any difference. So anyway, getting back to being in the hospital.
Oh yeah, you
I
were
got
mad.
Yeah, I was really pissed off. Really pissed off. The very next day, of course, he told me, I understand, I had fractured my pelvis, had internal injuries. What had happened was my spleen had gotten torn. So they actually had to literally cut me open like 12 inches. Did an exploratory surgery because they didn't know what was bleeding. Well, fortunately, it was a spleen, and they did repair it instead of taking it out, which wouldn't be uncommon for them to take it out. But at that point in time, they stopped taking spleens out as if it was a worthless organ, and then they started to do more repair of them. Probably broke a few ribs and other things that
But also,
were.
did we mention that you fell 200 feet? Wasn't that what it was? I think we didn't mention that.
I estimate that from the height that I was the last time I recalled being up there,
Yeah.
like 200
And survived.
feet.
I think that the hang glider must have broken your fall. Because 200 feet, you would have died.
Well, it wasn't a free fall. Okay, so there was a lot of drag from the hang glider for sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that my parachute popped open after I hit the ground, well, no, it only
So it didn't-
5 seconds earlier, and even if the 5 seconds earlier it would have popped open, it would have really helped tremendously. Except for I think the head injury was caused from the collision, so that would have put me into a coma anyway. So now I might not have broke all the stuff that I broke.
Yeah.
That would have been the thing that would have been better. But
Okay, so the glider you think was the coma part.
yeah, I think the
Hitting you.
collision
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
the
coma
hitting
part.
you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't get to hang the parachute out.
Yes.
Because I was, you know how you get hit and you're like doing one of these numbers, like what the hell, and that's what happened there.
Now tell the Rob story, your brother.
Well, yeah, so Rob shows up.
He lived in San Francisco.
Yeah,
at
he
the
lives in San
time.
Francisco. So he shows up, and the first thing he does is he hands me a dollar bill, and I said, "What's this all about?" He goes, "You can stop jumping out and falling and stuff like that." And I said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. And he says, "Don't you remember when you were a kid? Yeah, what's that? I bet you $1 that you couldn't jump out the second story window of our bedroom, and you went, opened up the window and jumped out the window." I said, "For $1, I would have done anything."
But then did he never gave
Never
you the
paid
dollar,
me.
right?
Never paid me the
so
bastard.
finally he
So here's
paid
your
his
dollar
debt.
for jumping out the window. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty funny. So I just laughed my ass off. That was a perfect thing to say to me at that point in time. But
Well, the other thing too, I remember you always telling me that when you woke up, you also were in so much pain
Oh.
that like it put you kind of into a depression, right?
Well,
Because the coma, you said the coma made you like it almost felt like you were in like heaven, right?
well, yes. Oh my God. No, it's so true. So true. Wherever I was, and people who've been in comas will tell you different things, but wherever I was in that coma was the greatest place in the whole world. The feeling I have was euphoric. It was, I wish I could describe it. It's indescribable. And when you wake up from that coma, the first thing you do is you realize how much pain you're in, and the first thing you want to do is, oh, please let me go back wherever I was. Please, 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 please let me go
I
back.
like kind of that feeling, like very, 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 very on a much smaller level, minuscule of like if you're having an amazing dream or something, and like
Right.
you're very relaxed in
Yes.
the dream, and then you wake up
Dream.
and like
Yeah.
all of your you're bummed that the dream is over, and then B, you're kind of like your real life woes like kind
Yeah.
of come back to you.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
But I remember you more recently having the realization of what you thought that euphoric feeling was.
It's a possibility that the only way I could describe it is love. Okay. And my mother was holding my hand, and she was there for that whole week. And every day she came into the hospital and she held my hand the whole time, and she just talked to me. You're okay. You're fine. You're going to be okay. Don't worry about it. We love you. We're here for you. La, 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 la. This went on and on for days and days and days. The only thing I can conclude is that she was engulfing me in love and making me feel extremely loved and like hugged the whole time. That's all I can think of. Yeah. So that was really special. But
Nana's hand.
yeah, she died a couple
Nana's
years ago,
love.
so that was sad.
Yeah.
But
An angel on
yeah.
it.
So I mean, a lot of things happened in the hospital too. The day after I woke up, I'm by myself. It's probably say 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm pissed off. Now Pete had been there the night before, so he's gone, and I'm like trying to assess the damage. Right. So here I am. I have these socks on, what they call compression socks, that go up your legs. Now these compression socks didn't have anything on the bottom of them. Nowadays, you'll have little grippy things on the bottom, little rubber things on the bottom of your compression socks in the hospital, but these did not. And so I'm doing one of these numbers like, how bad is my hip? And it doesn't feel bad. Doesn't feel bad at all. So my arm is still in the sling. The bed's really high. So we'll say the bed, when I'm standing on the ground, the top of the bed would be up to the top of my butt. So I slip my legs off to the side, and I slide over, and I'm trying to figure out, test my legs. So I'm putting on the ground. So I'm trying to put a little bit of weight on my good legs, so that was fine, right? So I'm starting to stand up, and my good leg slips right out from underneath me. And I mean, bad. I grabbed my good arm, the side of the bed, and the sheets and everything, and all the sheets and all the pillows and everything's just coming off the bed with me onto the ground. I slide onto the ground. And by the time I hit the ground, it was a slow motion thing, so I didn't hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I happen to have a roommate, thank God, because the call button for the nurses is up on the bed.
Up there.
And I can't even get off the ground. And I'm like so pissed off that I didn't think to take the damn socks off. Wasn't thinking for a minute that was going to make a bit of difference.
Oh, because they were slippy slidey.
Yeah. I hear this voice say, "Are you okay over there?" And I'm like, "No." He said, "Should I call the nurse?" Yeah. The nurse comes and she goes, "What the hell are you doing on the ground?" And I just said, "I'm leaving." I said, "I'm trying to get the hell out of here." I mean, I was trying to figure out. I knew where my clothes were in that closet. I was leaving. Oh, I was leaving. I was done.
Ridiculous.
Well, of course, my
Where were
parents
your
come.
parents?
Well, they hadn't
Oh, at
arrived
the
yet.
hotel.
No, yeah, they're still talking. So they arrive whenever the visiting hours are, and of course they get told the story about what had happened, and of course my father is fucking pissed. He is livid. What the hell are you thinking?
Oh.
I said, "Dad, I don't want to be here." He said, "Look, the doctor's going to come in, and he's going to have a little conversation with us all. Okay, so let's wait for him to come in, and he'll let you know what's going on and when you're going to be able to be, released. But you cannot do this type of stuff anymore. You could have injured yourself really bad." So he's yelling at me. He's like, "Okay, Dad, okay, I understand."
It's true.
But I mean, he was right. Doctor comes in and goes, "Okay, Bill, you're probably not going to walk for a year. You're going to be in this hospital probably for the next 6 months because we have a rehab
You're
center
kidding.
here. And so this is what he's telling me. And I'm like, what? I'm going to be in this hospital for 6 months? And he says, yeah.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
oh, there's no way. No, that's not happening. I mean, you're getting news that's not good.
No.
No, not at all.
On
And so
top of like
I'm-
you're already,
Yeah.
like you must have
I'm
been
already
so
trying- I said-
foggy headed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
in
So
so
I'm
much
like,
pain.
I said, I just want to go home. I said, I don't care where I go. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
My father and mother were going to stay out there as long as they could. He couldn't stay. So he was taking 3 weeks, so he was going to stay out there. I was being rehabbed and so a lot of positive things were happening with me physically and stuff like that. One of the things they wanted me to do was take morphine every 4 hours. I said, no, I want absolutely no drugs because I had a knee operation when I was in high school from football injury, and they had literally hooked me on morphine. So I had realized what it was like to be on morphine for extended lengths of time, and I knew that I'd never want to have that happen to me again because it inhibited my recovery. So I just told him nothing because, Bill, you can't survive with no pain pills. I said, oh, yes, I can. Yes, I am. And I'm not taking a thing. And you want to talk about enduring pain. But it helped my recovery.
Wait, why though?
Because, I mean, when you're
when
in
you're
pain
masking
and
pain.
it makes you go like this. So you're doing one of these numbers. No, how much ambition do you have to do anything?
Oh, yeah, okay. Got more fire under your ass.
So
well, same with my, obviously it's a much different level, but this chronic pain that I have, like a lot of times doctors or chiropractors or whatever will be like, well, what are you taking to manage the pain? I'm like, nothing. Like, I don't want to rely on that. I don't want to mask that I have this pain and it'll just stop me from wanting to improve it.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so I was about 2.5 weeks later, my father was getting ready to say, no, I can't stay here much longer. And the doctor came and says, I'm going to be honest with you. He can go home with you.
Wait, really?
2.5 weeks.
Because you were putting in that much work?
Yeah.
What was it, PT?
No.
Physical therapy?
Well, believe me, I was still in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Okay.
I was, all that stuff still existed. My arm was not healed. Of course, it won't be healed for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Never, but I mean.
But you were doing physical therapy when you got home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was doing physical therapy there too. Oh, this is a good story. So I'm doing physical therapy, and it's probably a week into the injury or a week after, I woke up. I'm being wheeled down to the rehab center. This nurse sees me and goes, Bill. I mean, like, I have no idea who this person is.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, I can't believe how good you look. And I'm looking at her and said, you had me at a disadvantage. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I was the ER nurse when you came in that night. I said,
like as if I would remember that.
And so she introduced herself to me. And I said, and then she goes, it's okay. You can say it. I said, what's that? Oh, fuck. Was I fucking alive? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, you were fuck.
Oh, so you were conscious for a little while.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I came into the hospital because what had happened was I'd come in the hospital and the pain would hit me and I'd be going, oh, fuck. And then all of a sudden I'd be fine. I'd be like, oh, because you were going in and out of really conscious, even though your eyes were open. You weren't really
And then
there.
what? And then once you were horizontal, you just fell into a coma? Like when did
at
coma
some
start?
point in time,
or did they induce it?
No. At some point in time I did.
You
so
just,
yeah.
damn.
I just was done.
Oh, I thought it would have happened right away.
So did I.
I am learning so much.
I didn't know it either, any more than you knew it.
Wow.
So I'm listening. She goes, I just want you to know. And I said, what's that? He goes, the doctor took one look at you. He turns to me and goes, I give him 30 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
No, I went, what? He goes, oh, yeah, Bill, you were in bad shape. And I said, holy shit. He goes, he looked at you and thought, nah, he's not going to make it.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, and then she said, and in all honesty, your heart stopped at one point.
Really?
And I went, you're kidding me. She goes, no, what, did you have to, like paddle me or, what, I'm like,
yeah, with the shock.
Yeah. He goes, no, because we actually were just pulling the paddles out when your heart started back up on its own.
Oh my God.
And I went, oh, that's freaky. She goes, oh yeah. That was a wild night, man. I said, holy shit. So she was telling me stuff that I had no idea. I mean, it was really pretty cool.
God.
Yeah.
It was like the unraveling of all the
it
information.
really was. And it wasn't shortly after that they literally put me on a plane, like in a wheelchair, and this big guy picks me up and carries me and puts me into a seat. And mom and dad joined me, obviously. It was just a hell of a flight, I tell you. It's a long flight. That's 5
from
hours.
because you went back to Jersey.
Yeah, we
So
flew back
wait,
to
what did
Jersey.
you quit your job or what
Oh
happened?
no,
Or
well,
you
I was
just
on
were on
disability. I was
leave?
on disability.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how long were you at home?
Well, the accident happened on June 6th, 2.5 weeks later, so it's the end of June, and it wasn't in October to go back to
To go back,
Colorado to go
okay.
back to work.
Oh,
Now, this is where the real shit happened.
yes.
Yeah. When you wake up from a coma and they ask you all the questions like, do you know your name? Do you know this and that? Do you know where you are? And blah, blah, blah. I did. I knew all that stuff. I go back to work and things are not quite the same. First day back, say hello to everybody. It's yay, Bill's back. I get a call from my largest customer, which is Colorado National Bank. I'm talking to the vice president. He's telling me that he'd like to have this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. So I said, no problem. I'll take care of that for you. Hang up the phone. About a half an hour later, I look down at my desk. I see so-and-so call from Colorado National Bank. I give him a call and say, hi, it's Bill. And goes, I see that you called me. He goes, well, I didn't call you. I said, oh, I have a note here that you called. And he said, oh, no, we already talked. I said, I've already talked to you today? He says, yeah. And I'm like, oh, my God, what was the conversation? And so he starts to tell me the conversation. The third thing that he talked about, something clicked. Now, whatever it was, whatever clicked in my brain, that temporary
You heard it.
memory that I had there, it went from temporary into permanent memory. And it was kind of like, oh my God, oh God, oh my God, I do remember. Okay, oh, I'm so sorry I called you back. He goes, you wanted this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. He goes, yes. I said, yes, I remember. I'm so sorry.
Did you explain?
I didn't know what to explain.
Oh, you didn't know yet.
I was like, so I got a hold of my secretary, Carol, and I asked her to come in to my office. I closed the door and I said, this is what occurred. So I told her the whole story. And she says, oh my God, Bill, that's not good. You have a memory problem.
Yeah.
And I said, I know. And I don't know what to do. I need to rely on you pretty heavily. You need to keep me in check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it got no better. This went on and on and on. It got to, and I was having a lot of road rage on the road. I had 3 tickets. I'm about to lose my license. Oh yeah. And
wait, because of the road rage?
I caught off a cop.
You did?
Yeah. That was the last ticket I got. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, because you were just angry?
Yeah, it's just fucking.
And you were depressed, right?
Oh, unbelievable. Suicidal, you name it. It wouldn't, yeah. Yeah, it's a terrible feeling. And the only thing that saved me was my mother, actually. And my mother she would call me every day, or she'd have one of my siblings call me, and all this kept on going on and on and on. Because your brother's not in a good position, in a place, you got to call him and talk to him. So I had such a close-knit family. They kept me, grounded, I will say, thank God. Because
but you didn't have these feelings when you were recovering for those few months at Nana's, and you didn't.
I didn't know I had a memory problem.
None of the memory stuff came up at all?
Well, when you know who you are, you know who they are.
Yeah.
But
there never was an instance where it was like, oh, I want to watch this TV show tonight. And then like you would say it again a little bit later. Like Nana never noticed any of that? Or it just wasn't happening?
Honestly, I have no recollection. In fact, I know there was nothing that happened.
Yeah.
Literally nothing that happened that would make me think that I had a memory problem.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, right after I talked to Carol and told her everything that was going on, I gave my mother a call.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Ma, this is what just happened. And so I explained to her what happened. She goes, oh my God, Bill, you shouldn't be back at work.
Yeah.
And I say, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm here. So, but this went on for 6 months.
And your secretary just had to keep.
Well, Carol always was very concerned and kept trying to encourage me to go to see a neurologist. Bill, just go see a neurologist. Because I have a friend that works in a doctor's office that he's a neurologist. He's really good. So she kept trying to push me for it. Well, when I got that last ticket, you had to hear this story. This is a good one. It's 4:00 in the afternoon, and all day long she goes, Bill, you have a 4:30 appointment to go down and take care of this ticket, because you have to go down and take care of this ticket because they're going to take your license from you. Remember that. So this is going on all day. Yes. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go to the ticket. Yep. 4:00 goes, Bill, get in your car, go downstairs. Right? You're going, where are you going? Going to the courthouse. I'm going to go take care of this ticket. I get in my car. I drive straight home. Never once thought about going to the court. Not even for a moment.
Oh, my God.
Nope.
What happened?
I come back the next morning. First thing Carol says to me, goes, so how did the court date go? What court date? What are you talking about? Bill, you had a 4:30 appointment yesterday to go see the judge to talk about the tickets that you got. And I'm like, I did. She goes,
Oh, you didn't
yes, you
even
did. That's what I
remember?
went. Well, of course, then it finally went from that temporary memory into that permanent memory. I went, oh my God. Oh my God. Now I'm in panic mode. I'm in total panic mode. So I called up the courthouse. I said, this occurred. And they said, oh, we have a warrant out for your arrest.
Oh my God.
I said, oh my God. He goes, what do I do? He says, you come down to the courthouse right now. So that's what I did.
Okay.
Went down to the courthouse.
Did you
and-
have to explain, like, I'm sorry I have a memory issue?
Oh, that didn't go well.
Oh, it
Oh,
didn't?
no, it did not.
They didn't take it?
Oh, no, they did not.
Oh, shit.
No.
What, they just wouldn't take that as
Well,
an excuse?
Okay, this is what happened. I get into court. There's 3 women in front of me that all missed their court dates,
Mm-hmm.
like me. The first woman says, I was having some women issues yesterday, and I got to a point where I couldn't get here.
Okay.
And he was very understanding. Oh, I understand that. Well, the next woman does the same thing. She's like, oh, yes, I had some.
She's like, well, that worked.
Yeah, and that's some. All 3 of them did the same identical thing. I'm like, I'm in like Flint. I said, I'll just tell them about my hang gliding accident. I got this memory problem.
Yeah.
And no problem. So that's what I did. I said, Your Honor, I said, yesterday, my secretary kept telling me that I had a 4 o'clock or 4:30 appointment to come and see you to discuss these tickets. And I got in a bad hang gliding accident, and I was in a coma for a while. So
Yada, yada, yada.
I have this issue that I'm trying to deal with. And I missed the court date because I just literally got in my car. Instead of driving straight here, I drove straight home.
Mhm.
And he goes, that's no excuse. Now, you're talking about somebody that has road rage right now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
True.
you got to be fucking kidding me.
You said that in the court?
Oh, yeah, I did. And he goes, what was that, Mr. Lewis? And I said, I nearly died. And you're telling me that's no fucking excuse. I mean, I'm really not happy.
Doing the F-bombs.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing the F-bombs.
I probably should have brought Carol with me.
Yeah.
That was my problem.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't. He was about to throw the book at me, and then he kept hearing other cases. He told me to sit in the back room and shut my mouth.
And I'll get
And
back to you.
you'll be the last one I take care of tonight.
Shit.
And
So you're missing work
and
too.
he literally, well, it didn't matter. I'm the manager. It didn't make any
Okay.
difference. So anyway, he kept stopping in the middle of other court cases and talking to me.
Oh my God. You were the example of the day.
Yeah. Tell me. Okay, I'm not sure I'm fully understanding exactly what happened to you. I said, I don't know how I can explain it any differently. I said, I was in a hang gliding accident. 2 of us collided with each other in midair.
Yeah, he
and
probably
I
thought
felt,
it was bullshit.
Yeah, and I literally fell to my death. I just didn't happen to die.
Yeah.
So I'm doing one of those numbers on him, right? And I think he's starting to feel guilty that he was such an asshole to me,
Mhm.
and then realizing that I'm having some real issues. Well, he says, I'm not going to give you the full 12 points, because 12 points you'd lose your license.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give you 11 points. But if I see you in this courtroom even one more time,
Oh.
he goes, I'm taking your license. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Because the way I'm driving, I'm out of my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
literally drinking myself to death and then driving 80 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour home.
Oh, and you were
Oh.
drinking and driving?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Wait,
man.
where were you drinking? In the office?
Anywhere. It didn't make a difference.
At,
Yeah.
at work?
Yeah.
Dad!
No, not at work. Not at work. At a bar.
Oh, okay.
Not at work.
And also, mind you, he is not a drinker either. We
No,
call
no.
him 2 beer Bill because he literally can't,
Yeah.
won't have more
After
than
2 beers,
beers.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
done. But
He's glassy eyed.
yeah. But it was weird. Yeah.
So then, how did you get out of your funk? You met.
Oh, yeah.
Sharla.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
how did
I
it
actually-
happen though?
yeah.
Your memory came back. At
No,
least
no,
a
she-
little.
She actually spent a lot of time training me, like playing cards and doing different things,
Oh,
like
mom.
things that were memory driven type of things.
Mhm.
And she would never lose.
Yeah.
Like she would never lose on purpose.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
had to beat her.
Mm.
And I can even remember we probably been playing different gin, always gin rummy, gin 500, whatever,
Mhm.
those type of card games that would make me remember the cards that were being played.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so eventually I did start to win. Like I remember the first time I beat her, it was like, oh my God, did you cheat? Did you let me win? No, I didn't. No. There's no cheating. Yeah. She retrained my brain. It did. I still have memory inches. But she always says that's because I just don't concentrate. Well, that's part of the memory problem. I don't
True.
concentrate.
True.
You know,
Although
so,
I'm not good at concentrating either.
yeah. I mean,
You probably weren't
I think
before
that's
too, right?
I think that's an issue with everybody, but in my case, it's weird. I mean, we'll go on vacations, and a year later, I'll be like, I knew we went on that vacation, but don't remember much about the vacation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Mm.
That happens a lot. And of course, she remembers absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Well, remember when your shoe was untied? Well, not really.
That damn shoelace.
No, yeah. She remembers what I was wearing. She remembers what she was wearing. She remembers what the waiter was wearing. She has that memory. Well, thank God somebody has to have one.
Exactly. We need someone in the fam.
And that's the story.
That's the story. Yeah, he ended up meeting. When did you meet Mom? How much later after that?
It was 2 years. I met her on my birthday, actually, in 1983. So it was 2 years and 1 month later.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then by that time, though, were you feeling less depressed or?
Yeah, I was actually quitting my job and going to Australia and New Zealand and just taking off time, like trying to get away from all the craziness.
Was it because you were depressed?
Yeah, well, it's because I yes.
Oh, so Mom really did bring you out of your depression.
Yeah. Well, and actually, my mother would have said that same thing. She said I was going to Australia and New Zealand to die. That's what she felt. and she said
maybe
that
to find yourself.
that Charlotte saved my life.
Oh.
Yeah, she really felt that if Charlotte hadn't gone with me, that I was not coming home.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
the drama.
Yeah, there really was a lot of drama there. Yeah.
Aw, Mom.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have me.
That's right. You've been just a thought. Not even
Oh,
that.
not even. Oh my God. Well, thank you for sharing that. I learned so much. Wow.
I remembered a lot more than I thought. So.
No, I really didn't know all of that. I heard the story, the abridged version,
Yeah, probably.
many times, but thank you.
Well, it's a long story.
Yeah, it is a long story.
Yeah.
Well, let's chat about a couple other people's accidents, shall we?
Sure. What the heck?
AITA for not accepting my mom throwing out my bikes after an accident. So a few weeks ago, my dad had a pretty bad crash. He's 52, so his bones are different than mine, and he unfortunately did not break his fall well. He got 9 broken ribs, collapsed and broken lung, broken collarbone, and head trauma. For context, we ride bikes a lot, usually through mountains. Although we didn't crash going downhill, my dad was still going fast, 30 miles an hour, when he crashed. I had fell separately around 1.5 years ago. I only suffered a concussion, although it was worse than my dad's, but I was discharged within 12 hours. My dad was admitted to a hospital for a little over a week, and now he's in a rehab center, which will help him walk and go back to normalcy. And his sister, seeing him in unconscious state, was enough for her to give away all 3 of mine and my dad's bikes with my mom and my grandma's permission. For context, my dad was riding an SL7 Tarmac. Do you know one of those, Dad?
Not exactly. No.
Okay. And I was riding a Caledonia 5.
I know that bike.
Including my old bike, I'd say we lost at least 10K that we could have made from selling them. It isn't the money though. Both of my parents are well off, so that's why we could afford it in the first place. My dad is currently in no position to do anything about this decision, so it just leaves me here to pick up the pieces. So I'm wondering what you guys think. I personally think my mom, aunt, and grandma have no authority over a hobby they deem dangerous, especially given I'm an adult. At the same time, almost losing your husband and brother can't be easy at this age. So for a little context, my dad is also a big mountain biker.
Yep. I've been in many accidents.
Oh, yeah. We had one Thanksgiving morning, and I
Yeah.
wake up to my neighbor. He was staying with us at the time, Petey. You might have heard me talk about him before. Just opens up the door and goes, "Shannon, wake up. Your dad's in the hospital." So, of course, I freak out. My heart jumps into my throat. Start it off by saying, "He's okay, but your dad's in the hospital." Jump scare. You
Yeah.
got to lead with that, folks.
Yeah. Another one of those that I separated my shoulder and broke another vertebrae which they had to.
Same one or different?
No. The other ones
Oh,
are A9
Lord.
T. They were in the center of my back. This one was my lower back, which most chiropractors look at my lower back and they always said to me, people would kill for that lower back.
Wait,
I
why?
always had a very strong lower back.
Oh,
And,
before
yeah,
this?
yep. And
How is
now
it
I don't.
now? Oh,
Yeah, the
shit.
L4 literally fractured right in half, and they had what they call kyphoplasty, which literally is epoxy. They literally epoxied my vertebrae back together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all it was. Medical
This is
epoxy.
what happens when you're a daredevil, folks. Stay inside.
Shit
Stay
happens.
alive.
I've broken ribs. Believe me, it's not fun. Not fun at
No.
all.
But the activity beforehand is.
Yeah.
Oh, because also we forgot to mention, because in this story, it sounds like he is going to want to continue riding bikes. That's what this guy always does. We forgot to mention, he still hang glided after this.
Oh God, for years. Yeah. Till from 81 when I got in an accident to 95.
But then he had an ultralight when we were a bit older, and that's a engined hang
It
glider.
basically
And we
was
used
a
to go up with
motorized hang
them.
glider.
Really fun.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I would love to do that again.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so back to this. So what do you think?
No, absolutely not. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they can't make a decision like that. They can't.
No.
And first of all, if they were to make a decision like that, they should have consulted him first, and he would have said no too.
Exactly.
But who knows? He may have been injured enough that he would have said, "Yeah, go ahead."
You'd be like,
rid
yeah,
of it."
forget
Right.
it. I
But
don't want to ever
do
that
not get
again.
rid of the other kid, his son's
I
bike.
know.
No way.
What does
No
that
way.
have anything to do with it?
No.
You know what this is? It's like throwing out cigarettes from your family member that's a smoker.
Yeah, and
it's
he's
like
gonna go
that's
right
not
out and
going,
buy another pack.
Exactly. It's not going to stop them from doing it. You can't control other people in that way. You think if he wants to bike, I mean, they're well off enough, he's gonna go buy another bike. So basically you're just throwing away.
Oh yeah, and the fact that you
10K.
gave them away was ridiculous.
I know, at least sell them. I mean, these bikes are expensive.
$10,000 worth of bikes. Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh,
Of course,
yeah.
I do have a $5,000 bike.
Oh, flexing on us, Dad.
No, but I have an e-bike. I because of all my injuries and all the other, I had shoulder surgeries. I had a knee replacement. I've had all these different things happen to me, and I got to the point where I couldn't bike anymore, literally. And if I didn't get an e-bike, and they're expensive, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Not a real mountain bike. They're expensive, and believe me, that's the bottom of the line e-bike, mountain bike.
Oh, so it's a mountain bike e-bike.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference, right?
Yeah,
There's like
big difference.
cruisers.
Yeah.
I understand the family, being upset about it and wanting them to stop. I'm sure your family didn't want you to continue hang gliding.
Well, they didn't even know I did. I don't think.
You didn't tell them?
Not really.
Yeah, I get that part is secret. Good idea, I would
Why would I
say.
put them through that? Of course, I didn't. I guess I never really got another one. So
Another accident. Yeah, I would say biking, it's probably more common to get into accidents. But also at the same time, they're usually maybe not as bad. Like the accidents that I'm sure happen in hang gliding is, well, because you're dealing with
I still
hundreds of
separated my
feet.
shoulder and broke my back in the one. So
True.
you can fall pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's mountain biking too. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, most road biking accidents happen because a car hits a bike. And believe me, when I was in rehab from my injuries from that accident, I met a guy that was a road biker, and some grandma went, and he was in a race on the road that was all cordoned off. So and an 80-year-old woman went through the whatever barriers or whatever the hell she went through and hit him.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
And he was in much worse shape than I was. Yeah, he was in bad shape.
Yeah.
And I was never one that liked to road bike anyway. It scared
it's
me.
dangerous.
I'd rather fall in the mountain than I would get hit by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody here says, who legally owned the bikes? Did you legally own yours? OP says, Dad bought his off Marketplace. I bought mine off Craigslist. He bought them. Okay, so Dad bought them both. One off Marketplace, one off Craigslist. So Dad technically owns them. He
So
essentially gifted him the bike.
Right. So, I mean, it was his bike.
Yeah. And then somebody else says, your mom and aunt gave away property that wasn't legally theirs to do. That's a crime. You could report them stolen and your aunt would have to find a way to get them back or give you the money to buy new ones. But then OP says, I'm not interested in pursuing any legal action. My aunt is plenty rich to avoid any consequences, and I'd lose everyone on my dad's side of the family. Plus, the bikes are already gone. I can't get them back. I think they actually gave them away. Probably hard to track it down a few days later. Well, who the hell did they give it to? Maybe they just posted on Craigslist or something.
Yeah, or a neighbor, who knows?
It's just like so lame when other people take people's property like that. Even if it's like family, I feel like a lot of times the lines get blurred. Like, I still am pissed about this, and Michelle knows I am. Michelle's brother, so you guys know my best friend from back home, her younger brother, she bought a car. She had a car, bought it. Her brother then, when she moved out of college, I hope I'm getting this story right, then took the car. He probably like fixed it up a bit or something. And then he went and sold it and kept the money when she bought the car.
Well, that's weird.
I know. And she never did anything about during that time I was always like, Michelle, you gotta like ask him for some money or something. Like, you should be getting half. I know he fixed it up and probably put more money into it, but like, you should be getting something for it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I get it if it's a family car and then it's like you guys bought it, so then like Chelsea had it at first and then it was mine kind of thing. But still,
yeah, we all had those.
yeah. But still, if that was the case, you would have gotten the money.
Yeah.
But I do think lines get blurred a lot with family as far as like, well, I just feel like I have the right to like do it because it's not good for you. That's, again, like we were saying earlier, it's not going to stop him from doing it. If he wants to go mountain bike, he's going to.
Oh, well, I'm sure he's going to turn right around and buy another one somewhere.
Exactly. And I feel like they're just doing it in the heat of the moment too. It's like, well, let's think about this. He's in really bad shape, so he's not riding a bike for months anyway.
Right.
Like it's not like he can turn around and do it right now. It's not like the urgency of like, I get that urgency of wanting to like dump alcohol out or like throw cigarettes out because you're trying to prevent them in that moment from doing it. But he's not going to get on a bike anytime soon. I guess they are preventing the son from doing it soon.
Yeah, that was weird that they sold the son's bike.
But so it's like, don't do it in the heat of the moment. Wait until you've been able to discuss with him while he's not hurting, while he's not in and out of, the drug consciousness or whatever. Someone here says you're the asshole, though, to the son. You don't get to play the, quote, I'm an adult card when you're living at your parents' house. And I bet they bought the bike anyway, making it theirs to do with as they please.
No, that's not true. No.
Yeah,
First
if you gift it.
First of all, anything that I've ever bought for you and I've given you, if I went and bought a bike and I gave it to you, it's no longer my bike for me to say what to do with it.
Yeah, it's a gift.
And it's a gift. Right. And there's no way that any parent should be able to take that gift away.
Yeah.
Especially if they are an adult.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of young adults still live with their parents right through college and whatever, and those type of things. That happens. But to take something that they deem was theirs and sell it or just give it away, no.
Someone else here says they are clearly legally in the wrong and committed an absolute felony, yet you don't want to take any of the crystal clear and obvious avenues to resolve this issue, including demanding full reimbursement for your bike, getting them to have it returned, or filing a police report. So I don't know why you are here, like why you're writing into this subreddit. Unless you want us to pat your head and say, there, no, you're not a complete doormat. And OP says, I'm sorry, but there is a lot of nuance to this. If this was a viable option, I would, even if I did this and managed to get my bike back. Unlikely I'd get the same high-end one I lost. Everyone on my dad's side would turn on me since I tried to go after a family member. Remember, I don't work and I am dependent. Nobody will support me. I definitely lose any case, not to mention my parents. Come from a different background, so not everyone can pursue stuff legally like that. What? I'm confused.
No, he's probably 18.
Yeah, how old is he?
Does it say?
Let's see.
Yeah. He says he's an adult, but believe me, kids at 18 say they're an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe me, you're not an adult at 18, people out there.
No.
I don't care what you think.
No. Well, we have a little update. I talked to my dad and he's willing to fight my mom and grandma under certain conditions, which I accepted in a heartbeat. My dad has gotten so much better. Thanks for all the help, and fuck anyone who said that I should move out. That wouldn't solve anything besides put more problems on my plate. I know it's common to move out when you disagree with something like this, but given how well off I am financially with my parents, any sane person would value that more. Not that I don't care about the bikes. Okay, so he's like, I'm not trying to rock the boat because I'm living off of mom and dada right now.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Most people live off their parents up until they are out of college years, we'll say.
Yeah. I don't know how old he is. He might be older than 18. It sounds like he might be in his 20s.
Yeah, who knows?
ESH, you for posting here when you've already said you aren't going to do anything about it. And then your mom, aunt, and grandma reacting out of fear. Basically, the only one here that doesn't suck is your father, who I hope makes a full recovery. I don't know. Who cares? He's just trying to see if he's right or not. Because probably he's getting gaslit by his family, being like, nope, sorry, we took the bikes.
Yeah.
I even understand maybe them taking them and like putting them in the aunt's garage for a little bit just to like make a point. If you wanted to do something brash because you're reacting out of emotion, then maybe do something like that. But just to fully give away something that's not yours when the son didn't even get into an accident, it's their hobby. You can't be so controlling.
It definitely sucked that they did that. That's all I can say.
Yep. So we're gonna go NTA.
I know if Charlotte took my bike away from me because I got in one of my accidents,
Yeah.
it's been hell to pay.
Yeah. You would have not been happy.
No.
She knows better than that. All right, let's wrap it up with AITA for trying to give the person I got in an accident with my information. Last night, I was in an accident. It was the second accident I've ever been in. The first one was someone that hit me when I was stopped at a red light, and it was handled in an adult manner that our insurance companies weren't even involved. Oh, okay, so they didn't even call their insurance companies. This accident was admittedly worse and happened because the person in front of me slammed on the brakes for seemingly no reason, and I didn't have time to stop before I hit them. I slammed on my brakes too, but still hit them. I was expecting things to go similar to my last accident where I just exchange information, name, driver's license, insurance information, etc. with the woman. However, when I went to approach her, she said, "Stay the fuck away from me. Don't talk to me." I waited by my car and was on hold with my insurance company and saw that she came close to the car and was on the phone too. I made a comment like, "So are we going to handle this like adults? Or like, how are we going to work this out?" She told whoever she was on the phone with, "Now he's harassing me. I don't feel safe. I'm going to hang up and call the police."
That's what I would have done anyway.
Well, depends on where you are. LA, you don't call the police for stuff like this. You
Really?
can't. Yeah. It's like they won't come.
No.
The police got there quickly after and handled the rest of it, and the lady never even acknowledged me. Am I the asshole here? Because I am at a loss.
I had only one car accident that I can even recall.
Really?
I was working very late at nighttime, like I always had done. It was like 2 a.m. And they diverted us off from the highway off into a side street. So I was actually going over to catch the Commodore Barry Bridge to go over to New Jersey from Pennsylvania. So I didn't know the road that well. So I'm coming over the top of the crest, and I see that there's an exit right there to, now it's a single lane that goes over and it splits into two lanes, one on the right and the main one that I was on going straight. I see it and I go, oh, and I mean, literally I have 50, less than 100 feet before I have to put my blinker on to move over to the ramp.
Yeah.
And so as I'm coming over this top and I see that and I go, and I put my blinker on, I start to move over and a car comes flying by me and sideswipes me.
Oh my God.
Now, of course, I was taken back by the whole situation. I was like, whoa, 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 what the hell happened here? Like, I didn't even know what happened. They didn't stop they went underneath the bridge itself, you know, the overpass or the underpass.
Didn't stop?
Nope. And then they I mean, that's when they finally came to a stop.
Yeah.
It was pretty far down the road. Then they backed up all the way behind me. Now at this point in time, I'd already pulled over onto the ramp and pulled off to the side. And I just immediately called the police and the police came.
Yeah.
Well, they went and talked to them first, and then they came over to me and started to talk to me and goes, well, I understand what happened. And before I even had a chance to say anything.
Okay.
So he comes over and he's already written out a ticket to me.
To you?
And I said, what the hell did you write? I said, you didn't even talk to me. And he said, well, I could see what the story was. You moved over into lane and you hit them. I said, is that what they told you?
Wow.
So then I explained the situation where they ended up down the road like that. And the guy goes, oh, fuck. And he knew that he fucked up. He knew he fucked up.
The police.
Yeah. So he says,
well, he already wrote the ticket, right?
Yep. So he said, just go fight it in court. You'll be fine. So, and again, so now I got to take time off.
Fucking
I
hell.
go and fight in court.
I forgot
and
to go. I drove
no,
straight
No,
home.
no. I went to court, and yep, I got away with it. Oh, the judge was like about to throw the book at me, and the cop must have did one of these numbers like,
Oh, and he showed up.
yeah,
Oh, you're
he showed
lucky
up.
he
He showed up. Yeah,
up.
he showed up, and he just went like whatever he did because
Damn.
he was about to say, "Fuck you, Bill. It's your fault."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, well, under the circumstances, I'm gonna let you go." It was the weirdest thing ever. It was okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but
Oh.
yeah. Well, thank God that was one of those situations that I
Yeah,
was
like
in the
you're not
right
even
and I
gonna
got
hear
away
the
with
other
it. So,
side of the story. I'm glad he believed you.
thank God.
You know, it's tricky when it's he said, she said kind of thing. And I feel like in this situation, I mean, I read some comments earlier that was like you rear-ended her, and it's like, okay, that's that may technically be the case, but she slammed on the brakes and then he ran into her. And that, my friends, is the very tricky part about rear-ending tickets
Yeah.
because it's always the person behind you's fault, even when the person in front slammed on the brakes.
Yeah.
And
You have to have control of your vehicle.
I know. And you want to know what something? I've got a confession.
What?
That happened to me. And I probably got some bad karma points back in some point in my life, or I will later. But I wasn't paying attention, slammed on the brakes with just enough time to not hit the car in front of me.
Mm.
And the car behind me hit me. And what was I going to do?
He hit you.
It was their fault.
Well, it
and
was
I felt
their fault.
really guilty, but it was mine.
What? Because you weren't paying attention?
And I slammed on the brakes. I was like this close to hitting the car in front of me, and
What?
this has happened to me multiple times where I've slammed on the brakes, and I was so lucky that I'll always look in the rearview mirror and be like, "Fuck, the person behind you is about to ram me," but luckily they're paying attention. It's because, and look, I know I have like an attention issue, but at the same time, with LA traffic, it's so stop and go that like sometimes whatever, you just start to go and then you're not realizing and whatever. It's wrong. I was in the wrong YTA, but I mean, what, I wasn't, if they were like, they're the one at fault, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to say anything.
I wouldn't say anything.
And Maddie was in the car with me, parallel parking Maddie. She should have been driving since she's such a pro. And we got massages. Because the insurance company gave us massages because we were like, yeah, like our necks kind of hurt. Terrible. But I did think that this was interesting here where what the top he says that the first accident he ever got into, they handled it in a quote unquote adult manner that the insurance companies weren't even involved. So that means they did all like under the table kind of thing.
That I've done that a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Actually, I had that happen. Sorry to keep inserting personal stories, but one time I walk out to my car and there's a note on my car and it says, "I'm sorry I hit your car. Here's name and number." And it was one of my friend's names. She had no idea it was my car.
Oh, wow.
And I texted her and I was like, "Guess whose car you just hit?" But she was actually like, "Oh my God, thank God, because now I can just like pay you directly." It was still expensive, like $1,000 or something, but her insurance didn't go up.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to this. So then he then says in the second accident, I expected things to go similar like my last accident where I exchanged information, names, driver's license, insurance information. Well, insurance information, I thought you didn't even do that the first time. Unreliable narrator, perhaps?
Or they may have not involved the police and they just exchanged insurances.
I know, but he said the first time that the insurance companies never were. So maybe they both just
okay.
brokered a deal or whatever
with
each other. But yeah, I mean, this is how it works in LA. Like I was saying earlier to you, you're not supposed to call the cops when stuff like this happens because they won't come.
Fender benders.
Yeah.
If there's nobody injured,
yeah,
they don't want to be involved.
Exactly.
They want you to deal
so
with your
you're
insurance
just
company.
supposed to exchange info.
Yeah, but she called the cops because she felt unsafe, she said.
Yes.
Which is kind of like, really?
I know. Well, that's where stuff got tricky in the comments section. Because when I first read it, I was like very clearly on OP's side because I was like, she sounds like she's being a little dramatic. But then we did have some comments being like, okay, well, you clearly were perhaps coming out her in some way. Like, are you maybe saying that you, here's one, YTA, handling things like adults means calling the police and going through insurance. Handling things without a police and insurance is rare and only happens if both parties willingly agree and only for minor issues. You rear-ended someone, that's on you. She was shook up because you rear-ended her for following too close. She's allowed to be annoyed. I don't know. I mean, she slammed on the brakes, but yeah, you're right. Like, you should have enough room between the cars to stop.
That's the way, no. And you know something? That's what you're supposed to do. That's the person that's at fault.
If someone else says, care to speculate that OP was probably also texting or in some way distracted. And then OP goes, I knew police and insurance would be involved, but to me, being an adult is acknowledging the person you were in the accident with. Also, the thing was, I wasn't following too close. There was a good distance between us, but because she slammed on the brakes so suddenly, even though I reacted as soon as possible, I still hit her. And then someone goes, that means you were following too closely. And by posting on social media, you are opening this up to be used as evidence if it comes to her suing you. And he just responds, oh, please.
Yeah, people that it's not uncommon for people to slam on their brakes and cause accidents for the insurance, because then what happens afterwards, once it goes through the insurance, is that they end up getting all this medical things and all these other different types of things that happen, and also they can end up turning around and suing you and getting money. You know, so a lot of these things happen in the background that you don't even really know
you
about.
Think people are doing it on purpose?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Slamming on brakes.
Slam on the brakes, and in fact,
that seems like such a risky game to
well,
play.
I mean, if you there's been situations, and they because people have dash cams now, their own, that people will slam on the brakes, and that people will not hit them. They'll put it in reverse and then smash into them, and then because remember they're getting hit from behind, then they claim to the cops, you know, if they even call the cops, that they were hit from behind, and they
back up. You can't tell on the dash cam that they're backing up,
but you can. So when they claim it and they show the cops what happened, they get arrested for insurance fraud, because that's what's been. It's all insurance fraud.
I know. I don't know how people think they can get away with anything these days. There's cameras.
Well, not with cameras.
Everywhere.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't get away with anything.
I know.
Because shit, I was trying to murder somebody. I mean, no, never mind.
Redacted. But I mean, in a lot of ways, it is a good thing. But then in other ways, it's just sometimes I just feel a little bit like I'm always being watched.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit of a unsettling feeling.
Well,
but then now with AI, let's not get into this because that's a whole other fucking discussion. But with AI,
oh yeah.
now, I mean, I'm scared for that in the future with like solving crimes and stuff. Like, how would you ever even know? I guess there's got to be ways that they can like look at the video file and see that it's AI.
Oh yeah.
Because you can look at that information, can't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, those type of things can't be mimicked right now. Now, will they be able to be mimicked in the future? I can't answer that question.
I know.
Believe me, this is I won't say area of expertise. I was in computers my whole life.
It's for sure not your area of expertise. The videos that you sent me.
No. I'm not talking about that.
Chelsea and I are like, Dad.
Computers are my area of expertise. That's what I'm saying.
Clearly AI. Ernesto the Carpenter, your new favorite musical artist. There was this guy he's this AI artist, and my dad keeps sending them to us, and we were like, Dad.
It was a good song.
I'll post it, you guys. Ernesto the Carpenter. Keep your eyes peeled for the new up and coming new artist of the year. NAH, but I wouldn't have said, are we going to handle this like adults? Accidents cause all kinds of emotions, and you might be poking the bear without realizing it. My first thought was maybe she didn't have insurance. Interesting. In my state, that is. Well,
she would not. She would not have called the cops, though.
True. Well, that's why they said my first thought. Without going too deep, men have caused car accidents to victimize women. We have to be on high alert all the time. My boyfriend used to complain about women not being friendly when he says hi at the gas station or grocery store. He says hi to everyone. I had to gently explain that his height of 6'5" is intimidating, and how I have had 2 stalkers in my life. So sometimes you have to read the room. She may have been in a previous traumatizing accident, or she was nervous because this was at night and you are a total stranger. So I guess most people are saying like he needs to just put himself in her shoes, because it might be that he was intimidating her. Honestly, her reaction does seem a bit of an over dramatization. I know that it's traumatizing.
That's somebody describing what happened, where we don't know what really happened unless you were there, type of thing.
Someone here says, NTA, bro. She seems like she was trying to gear up for a big payout. Lawyer up ASAP. I don't know. The
Yeah.
drama. You think?
I honestly, if somebody stopped for no reason in front of you and you hit them, it was like, what, did a dog run out in front of you? Did a deer? Well, I mean, what happened? Like, that's
Mm.
what I would want to know. What the hell happened?
Oh yeah. Why did you?
Yeah, why the hell did you slam on your brakes?
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been my reaction. Of course, that's may have been what he said and why she felt unsafe,
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, that would have been my reaction. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, lady, what the hell did you slam
Yeah,
on your
what
brakes?
happened? Because that is, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Even though I've, reaped the benefits the opposite way. And I
Yeah.
honestly, when that happened to me, though, I was shocked that the person that rear-ended me didn't inquire about that.
Well, first of all, no matter what, the accident you described that you got in was a normal accident that happens to everybody on a daily basis. That unless you're really paying attention at all points in time, chances are when those type of situations happen, you're going to hit somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the person in the rear that's at fault. The person hit you was at a fault,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any difference. That's the way it was.
I guess so, yeah.
By you saying, well, I almost hit the guy in front of me, made no difference. They still hit you.
Yeah. I'm also curious, because she's like, I'm going to call the police, but it sounds like she was calling the police on the guy, not on the situation.
Well,
or she just wanted
she
them
probably
there
called
to
the
feel
police and
safe.
said, I got in an accident and I feel unsafe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you did that in LA, you know what happened is the police would show up.
Yeah, because you said the second part.
Right. And she said that to him.
Well, because there has been times where it is scary. This happened to me.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, high school, I was on the Parkway coming to Wildwood, and we were at a red light. I saw the cars in front of me go, and I was in the wrong. I was texting. I'm sorry. I was 17 though. But I just, when you see a car in front of you, when you see movement, so then you just take your foot off the gas
And you
then
hit the guy in
start.
front of you. Right?
And I hit him at
2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The guy gets out of the car and comes up to my window and just starts harassing me, banging on me. How dare you? How dare you? I've got little kids in my car. You need to give me money right now. You give me $500 right now in cash, or I'm calling the cops. $500 right now. I was like, well, can we please pull over? We were in the middle lane and it's the Parkway.
Right.
So I'm like, can we at least pull over? No, we're not pulling over. Not until the cops come. Not until the cops come. I'm not pulling over. You give me $500 cash right now. Like, I don't have $500 on me.
You're 17 years old, for Christ's sakes.
Literally. And I started crying because he was scaring me.
Oh, yeah.
I had the window cracked like this much because I couldn't open it. He was banging on it like crazy. And I was literally like, oh my God. And then somebody who had seen it pulls over, and then he comes over and he goes, I saw you texting. And he tells the guy, she was texting. You're not going to get away with this. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, fuck. So again, he wouldn't let us pull over. So then the cops come. We're blocking all of traffic on the Parkway. And the cop, and I'm crying. And the cop, comes up to me, and I was just like, look, he just was screaming at me to give him money. I obviously don't have cash on me right now. And I lied and I said I was doing my makeup. That's why I looked down, which I don't think you're allowed to do that either. But I was like, I was just getting ready for work. I was on my way to work. I was like, I was doing my makeup. And anyway, the guy was like, the police officer was sympathetic to me and stuff, but he was like, I am going to give you a reckless driving ticket.
Oh, he has to.
I was like, and that's fine. That's fine. I'd rather, it wasn't even $500 worth of damage. There wasn't even any damage to the car. That's how slow I was going. The blackmailer, it was so strange.
He just wanted money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
very
he was harassing
strange.
you to get it. He didn't want the cops to come. He just
Yeah.
wanted money. If you had literally pulled out whatever, if you pulled out $200, says, look, this is all I got.
Yeah.
He would have grabbed it and left.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it was the slowest amount. It was you just take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
But I was in the wrong, obviously. Again, I have gotten into many things, and it is.
Well, you were not in the wrong with the way you got harassed. I'm sorry.
No. But that's why I do understand where she's coming from, because a lot of times the heat that people do get really heated.
Oh, yeah.
Very heated, and it is scary afterwards. I've had multiple times where that's been scary like that. That was the scariest. But it doesn't even sound like OP was being that scary.
Well, remember, they're telling it from their perspective on how they remember it. So,
True.
and like you said, he may have been 6'5" and just that presence,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I mean, sometimes you're like, okay.
So someone here goes, soft ESH, you both overreacted to the other's response. Doesn't make the initial response unreasonable, but how you both then handled it is the issue. And OP's like, well, how should I have handled it better? They said she was presumably shaken up and was rude when you approached, but you should have just acknowledged she was distressed. You did back off, which is great. Your downfall is the stupid passive-aggressive comment about handling it like adults. Did you apologize for rear-ending her? Ask if she was okay. No, to answer your first question, no, and any smart person knows not to admit guilt/blame in any situation because it can be used against you. To answer the second question, no, because I didn't even get a chance to see if she was okay. You seem arrogant
Whoa.
here, and the interaction sounds arrogant by your post, YTA. Are you going to resolve this like adults? Sure, on her terms, since she was the one hit. I don't know. Whose team are you on? Are you going to say they both suck?
I'm still under the opinion that her stopping short like that was all an insurance scam. That's what I think.
What, Dad?
It is. That's just what I think.
Well,
Because it happens all the time. Yeah.
I'm sure it happens way more often than people just get hit. You're really jumping the gun. I mean, you're really like
I might
jumping
be.
to conclusions
But I mean,
here.
look, she's saying she didn't feel safe, and from everything that he described or the person described, because I don't know if it's a male or female,
Okay.
was that an overreaction? I don't know. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a hard one.
Okay, I get that because he went to approach her and she said, "Stay the fuck away from me. Don't talk to me." That's very dramatic.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now, what, this is why I'm trying to say somebody stops short, you end up hitting them, and they're already on the defensive. Now they're calling the cops, which is, that they don't feel safe because like you said, in LA, you don't call the cops, right? So exchanging information means that there's no bodily injury. There's none of that type of stuff. Where now, if you have a police report and she says, my back doesn't feel good right now, I don't know, I feel dizzy, she starts reporting shit like that to the cops. You don't know.
Yeah.
He'd have to get a police report if that was that case. I'd want to see the police report from the accident, stuff like that. So there's underlying things that we don't know about.
The top comment was NTA. She was overreacting. You tried to do the right thing. But with people like that, I would actually recommend sorting it all with a third person involved because things tend to get ugly when they are bad at communicating. Yeah. I don't really know what to go here, honestly. Maybe.
It's a tough one.
I'm kind of more on his side, but I do understand maybe just ESH a little bit. I don't think he should have said, let's handle this like adults when she's clearly already like on one. I think if that happens, it is good to just stay away.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be exchanging insurances.
Oh, yeah, and she wouldn't even do that.
And she doesn't want to even talk to the guy.
Yeah.
Now, that to me says there's something else going on here. Okay. So
that's true. And then, he was just standing there for a while like, okay, what are we going to do here? This is the protocol. And you're not even giving me any information.
Well, I mean, the first thing I would have done would have come with my license and everything. You want to take a copy? You want to take a picture of my insurance card? I'd like to take a picture of yours.
Yeah.
Like this. That's all the exchange you need to do.
But why do you think if she was trying to do an insurance scam, why would she call the cops? Just to get it more on the record?
Yeah. Like I'm saying, there's things you can say to the cop. I didn't feel safe with him there. I like this goes.
To get some more money.
He hit me from behind, and I'm telling you right now, he knocked my back out. Anything you can do, anything you want to. So now that you have a police report, that police report goes to the insurance companies. Now the insurance company has to do payouts.
All right. So if she's an insurance scammer, then we are definitely on your side, OP.
Yeah, but we don't know anything.
And we don't know.
They don't have enough information.
So we'll go info. Are you a scammer?
Yeah. Of course, we don't have her side of the story at all.
No, we don't. That's why we need to get two sides to every pancake, honey.
Yeah. The unsafe thing was weird. And the don't talk to me, it's weird. Like there's a lot too much weird things on her side. It's like.
Yeah. Strange. All right. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story, Dad.
Well, thank you for having me.
We are here. We're actually coming to you from the past. A year, many moons away, 2025. because you guys are currently in 2026. How is it over
I
there?
don't know.
I hope the world has solved all its problems.
I doubt they have.
Let's pray. Well, we are about to celebrate Christmas together, and I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah, and New Year.
And remember to rate, review, subscribe, leave me 5 stars.
Of course.
And you can also catch us on YouTube with my new cute little spectacles, my mini spectacles. Well, love you, Dad.
Love you too.
So glad you survived. Thank
Me
God.
too. That's right.
And you guys wouldn't have D is for drama. What a travesty.
Oh, that would have been tough.
Love you guys so much. And remember, you can't spell drama without D.
That's drama with the D.
D.